Joining us now from the World AG Expo in California, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committees, Devin Nunes is with us. Rod Rosenstein, this is the guy that recommended the firing of Comey. This is the guy that appointed Mueller, signed the final FISA warrant application, the third renewal. And this is a guy that Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, and James Baker, Congressman, all say talked about wearing a wire against President Trump in the hopes of invoking the 25th Amendment. He owes us answers to that.
He owes us answers. He's not coming tomorrow, which I think should be very telling. But the story is that he might possibly wanted to come and have a cup of coffee with Chairman Goodlatte. Well, that's not acceptable. He needs to come and testify under oath. If you look at the story tonight, Sean, that's breaking in the Washington Post, you have both McCabe and Rosenstein fighting over what happened at the time of when he wanted to wear a wire, whether or not he wanted to wear a wire, and who was responsible for what. So clearly what this is this is the investigators who have no one watching them, no one to investigate them, and they're running amok. Running amok so much that they won't even come and testify to Congress. It's pretty pathetic.
They're both arguing over who should have recused themselves. Frankly, both of them should have recused themselves now that we know what we know.
Right,
the president said he'd declassify and send out the unredacted FISA applications, the bulk of which the information came from the phony dossier that Hillary paid for, and the FISA and the fraud on the FISA court. Where are those declassified documents that the president said he'd release? Where are the 302s between Christopher Steele and Bruce Orr?
Well, the same thing is true, Sean. The same people who are arguing tonight on the pages of the Washington Post whether or not which one should recuse themselves, right? So this was over a year ago when the special counsel was appointed. They're supposedly arguing in front of Mueller who should be recused. And like you said, they both should have been recused. Those same people, or at least the Deputy Attorney General, who will not come to Congress to testify under oath, is the same person who is blocking the American people from being able to see this information that we in the Congress have been asking for now a couple months for the president to declassify. The president actually said, I want this immediately declassified without redactions. And then shortly after that, the Deputy Attorney General convenes a meeting to convince the president, well, we need to have the IG look at this. And that's where we stand right now with declassification.
We need this
but this
IG
is a
report.
whole new escalation.
It can't take 18 more months, Congressman.
I don't think we need an IG report, Sean. I think it's ridiculous, Sean.
I agree.
We need an IG to do anything.
I agree with you.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with IG. I want this stuff declassified.
I agree wholeheartedly, and frankly, a real special counsel ought to be appointed. The FBI director saying today he won't say whether or not the president is being wiretapped today? Are you kidding me? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Some of that questioning goes a little different directions, but let's just go back to the main point here that we really need to know at the start of the special prosecutor, special counsel. When remember, people are losing sight of this. The chief investigators at the time had no evidence of Trump campaign colluding with Russians. And so why did we have a special counsel in the first place?
It looks like Lisa Page said they had nothing in 9 months. So they started the media leak strategy so they can create the atmosphere of something that never took place. It is outrageous. Chairman, you've been amazing. Thank you for being with us.